Welcome to part 2 of the Play Like a Jet mock draft version 1.0. My name is Scott Mason. I'm the host of the Play Like a Jet podcast. And if you want to see what happened in our first 10 picks 1 through 10, go ahead and play back part 1 if you haven't already. But this is part 2, so we're going to start with pick number 11. Can I get a round of applause? Today, I'm excited to announce Manscaped is launching their Ultra Premium Collection. This is an all-in-one skin and hair kit for the everyday man and covers you from head to toe, literally. Manscaped is trusted below the waist. Now, trust them with the rest. Join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with the promo code PLAJ. The Ultra Premium Collection package includes Manscaped Premium Deodorant. No, not for your nether regions, for your stinky armpits. Hydrating body moisturizer. Have tattoos or issues with dry skin? It's designed to keep your skin feeling clean, smooth, and smelling fresh. Body wash to lather you up with their infused aloe vera and sea salt shower gel. 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner to clean your scalp with one easy step. Plus a free gift, a 3-pack set of lip balm that's made up with ingredients such as vitamin E, peppermint, and eucalyptus oil to keep those chappers feeling moist. That's 4 products and a gift inside the Ultra Premium Collection. What a score! Get 20% off now, plus free shipping with the promo code PLAJ at manscaped.com. That's 20% off, plus free shipping with the promo code PLAJ at manscaped.com. The power of attraction is now in a bottle thanks to Manscaped. And at number 11, it's the Washington Commanders. Now, I think in the offseason, Washington is going to sign a veteran quarterback. I don't know who it's going to be, but they're going to get one. I think they strongly would have considered drafting Malik Willis, the quarterback out of Liberty, here at number 11. But if you go back to our picks number 1 through 10, I had the Vikings jumping up ahead of them from 12 to 10 to snag Willis at the Jets spot at number 10. And so now Washington is sitting at 11. They could reach for a quarterback, but instead I think they go with Kenyon Green, the offensive guard out of Texas A&M, who I think is probably the best interior offensive lineman in this draft. Washington is likely to lose Brandon Scherff to free agency. Scherff, one of the best offensive guards in the league for quite a long time, does get hurt a lot, but still he's going to be a tough guy to replace. I think they go ahead and take Green to replace him and give John Matsko, the best offensive line coach in the NFL, somebody else to mold along that offensive line. Then at number 12, I've got the Jets taking Trent McDuffie, the cornerback out of Washington. They slid back from 10 to 12 and get a guy that I think makes a huge difference immediately in that defensive backfield. Excellent cornerbacks are very tough to come by. This draft has a couple of them, and I think McDuffie gets the nod here over Derek Stingley Jr. out of LSU because he was far more consistent and less injury-prone. He may not quite have the ceiling of Derek Stingley, but this is a guy that has 3 years of outstanding production, can play inside, outside, zone, man, can play the run, can tackle. The only real weakness in his game is that he's a little on the smaller side, not height-wise. 5'11" is good. He's really about 180, 190. We'll see what the combine indicates in terms of his real weight, but that's the only real negative with him. He'll have some trouble with some of the bigger guys like A.J. Brown and Mike Evans, but then again, who wouldn't have trouble with those guys? So the Jets, with pick number 4, got Kayvon Thibodeau and really significantly upgraded their pass rush, and now here at number 12, they get themselves a potential number 1 corner with Trent McDuffie, a blue-chip pass rush prospect and a blue-chip cornerback prospect. That's about as good of a way to try and fix the 32nd ranked pass defense as there is. At number 13, the Browns desperately need a weapon in the passing game. Odell Beckham Jr. was released last season. He just won a Super Bowl with the Rams. And now Jarvis Landry looks like he's on his way out of town. There's not a lot there for Baker Mayfield to work with, so I think they're going to go wide receiver here. And the first one in this draft comes off the board with Treylon Burks, the wide receiver out of Arkansas. There are a variety of directions that the Browns could go in here, but I think they go with Burks because he's just a really dynamic weapon for Kevin Stefanski to play with. He's not that polished as a route runner, but he's got incredible size and athleticism. There's a variety of different ways that you can use him. He's got a lot of A.J. Brown in him with his size at 6'3", 225, but also some Deebo Samuel with his unique blend of size and athleticism and skill set. So I think he's a player the Browns grab and look to mold into one of their top weapons right away out of the gate, with Kevin Stefanski trying to replace both Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham. No easy task. At number 14, I've got the Baltimore Ravens taking Derek Stingley Jr., the cornerback out of LSU. I mentioned him before. He's a little on the risky side only because his production dipped a bit the last 2 years and he's had some injuries, but the ceiling is through the roof. And the Ravens have a great reputation for getting defensive players to play up to the maximum of their ability. I think they'll do that with Derek Stingley Jr. here. A bargain at number 14 because as a talent, he's certainly top 5. It's just that inconsistency and the injuries that push him down here. But I think great value for the Baltimore Ravens at 14. At number 15, I've got the Eagles getting the linebacker they desperately need with Nakobe Dean. If you watch Georgia this year, and especially if you watch the national championship game, you know how good Nakobe Dean is. He's a playmaker in all facets of the game, 3-down linebacker, and on top of that, a phenomenal leader. He was the leader of the Georgia defense. So I think the Eagles get that linebacker they desperately need at 15, and then picking again at 16, they get the pass rusher they really need with Jermaine Johnson out of Florida State. He was the star of the Senior Bowl. We all saw the moves that he put on and the display that he dazzled everybody with. He's a great pick here for the Philadelphia Eagles, who can use him in a variety of different ways. Brandon Graham is getting older. They really need an outside pass rush, and so they get Jermaine Johnson here at 16, which I think is tremendous value. Speaking of tremendous value in pass rushers, the Chargers at number 17, I've got them taking George Karlaftis, the pass rusher out of Purdue. He's not as flashy. He doesn't have the upside of some of these guys, but I think that Karlaftis fits in well with the LA Chargers defense. Brandon Staley will figure out ways to utilize him and play him off of Joey Bosa, and I think that'll help the Chargers pass rush a lot. That defense needs pieces, and they get one with George Karlaftis. At number 18, the Saints are going to have to go quarterback here if they have the opportunity, because they're not going to be able to get one any other way. They're $70 million over the salary cap. I don't see them being able to spend anything on a quarterback. I don't think they're going to be able to pull off a trade, so they have to hope that a quarterback falls to them at 18. I'm sure they would have liked Pickett, maybe even Willis, but Matt Corral is solid value here at number 18, the quarterback out of Ole Miss. He's a local kid, too. He's a little on the small side, but the Saints have had guys like that before. Drew Brees, only 6 feet. And he's a guy with all kinds of grit and guts and leadership ability, can make some plays in and out of the pocket. So I think he fits in well here with the Saints at number 18. They get themselves the quarterback that they really need. At number 19, I think the Eagles trade down to number 23 with the Arizona Cardinals, who jump up looking for a big-time offensive weapon, because that's what Cliff Kingsbury does when he gets himself into trouble and his back is against the wall. He goes all out trying to get offensive playmakers. We saw that the Cardinals' offense just wasn't the same without DeAndre Hopkins. A.J. Green just wasn't the help that they were hoping he would be. They're going to want to add somebody else that can help Kyler Murray here, and so I think they jump up and grab Drake London, who a lot of people think could be the best wide receiver in the draft, out of USC, 6'5", 210 pounds. Adding him means that the Cardinals' offense can be more than just DeAndre Hopkins in the passing game, and so I think Cliff Kingsbury makes this aggressive move because, much like Matt Rule, his job could be on the line in 2022, so he's going to want to get the most impactful offensive playmaker he can, and in this case, he moves up a few spots to get London. At number 20, the Steelers drafted Kendrick Green last year and used him at center. He's really more of a guard, didn't do a good job at center. Just so happens the best center in this draft is still available, so I think the Steelers grab him. They'd love to get a quarterback, but at 20, there's just no way for them to get the one that they would have wanted, which probably would have been either Willis or Pickett, but it would have taken too much to trade up. So they stay at 20 and grab Tyler Linderbaum, the center out of the University of Iowa, an outstanding player here. The only two things working against him were an injury at the end of the season and the fact that he can only play center. He doesn't have any guard flexibility. So it drops him down a bit here, but the Steelers get a bargain, a center that could be a Pro Bowl or even all-pro caliber player for the next decade. It's a very Steelers kind of pick for Tyler Linderbaum to slide down and for them to grab him here at 20. So that's your second installment of the Play Like a Jet Mock Draft 1.0. We are now through 20 picks. We've got 20 more coming up because we're going to take you through the Jets' 2 second-round picks as well. So make sure you join us next time for picks 21 through 30 in installment number 3 of the Play Like a Jet Mock Draft version 1.0.